So, hello and welcome to the most awaited podcast of today, organized by Budding Entrepreneurs Forum, MIT School of Business, in collaboration with the Buzzcast, and under the mentorship of Dean Dr. Deependra Sharma Sir and faculty mentor Professor Dr. Kare Ma'am. Now, in today's world, India is very well known for its culture, its diversity, and of course its people. And typically, Indian women they are known for empowerment and self-sustainability. Starting from the era of Rani Lakshmibai, Jijamata, Savitribai Phule, to Indira Gandhi, to all those women who have been a very active part of what India is today. And especially in this arena of business, wherein we have this powerful and energizing fresh faces of women like Indra Nui, Falguni Nayan, Namita Thapar, etc., who have made us believe that in this liberalized 21st century, it is equivalently important for both men and women to stand together so as to make this world a better place to live. And it's very important for women to stand equally so as to prove that women can build, women can grow, and women can sustain what their living is. So, and our today's organizer being the Budding Entrepreneurs Forum, which is in collaboration with the Buzzcast, and which actually believe in or which stand for entrepreneurship and business. And also, since we have Women's Day around, so we have our guest of honor, who happens to be the co-founder and operations head of JVD Mettle Innovations Private Limited, situated in Pune, Vrushali Deshpande Ma'am, and who is also a very visionary and powerful lady. So let's dive into this wonderful podcast with Vrushali Deshpande Ma'am. So, hello, ma'am. Hello. First and foremost, thank you so much for accepting our invite and being the protagonist to today's podcast. So, before we dive into what all we would be discussing today, we would really like to know a bit more about you and what your business and startup is all about.
Uh, First of all, thank you so much for having me here. Coming to MIT is always a pleasure. So, my name is Vrushali, and my company is JVD Metal Innovations Private Limited. Yeah. And we are the foremost company. I could, not be boastful, say not. Yeah, the pioneers, and I think one of the best companies in India who are setting up human milk banks across the country. Okay, so that is what we do. So we set up human milk banks.
Okay. Do you have education in, I mean, your stream of education is in the same line, or how did you get into human milk bank and all those systems?
Uh, so they say that when you are in a company of giants, you need to walk tall. So we were introduced to this field by Mr. Vishwas Chitray, and we kind of, did dig deep and did a lot of research in this and found out what were the pain points in this field of human milk banking. And then we found out that there was a tremendous lack of technology when we started way back in 2013. Then we found out what were the best technologies in the world. We researched what were the processes involved in human milk banking. And that is how step by step we increased our knowledge base and then started working in this field. So it's been 10 years this year that we have been working in this field, and it's been a long and fulfilling journey. Yeah.
So, ma'am, you mentioned about Mr. Chittai. So, he happens to be your mentor who dived you into this field of a human milk bank, or was it your concept by yourself and your founder, who happens to be your husband?
Mr. Chitra introduced us to this field,
Okay.
and then we just kind of dived into it. Both of us are pharmacists by profession. So I am from MIT itself, and Mukund is from Aurangabad. So
Yeah, that
yeah.
might, yeah.
So eventually we found out that this area has a lot of potential, and it was quite ignored back in 2014. So we found out what were the lacunas, what were the pain points. We found out that most of the milk banks did not have the pasteurization technology, which is like the heart of a milk bank. So that is what we focused on. We focused on getting the best technology in the world to India. And slowly and steadily, we got associated with the best in the world. We got associated with Sterifeed, who make the best pasteurizers in the world. And then we got associated also with Miris, who make the best human milk analyzers across the world, the patented USFDA technology. So these were 2 points, 2 dots, which were very important in the field of milk banking. Uh, and then we used our pharma background to, kind of connect the dots and stimulate the system. Yeah, and basically decode what is missing. And we got to know that the processes are not clear, they are not defined. So we got down and found out what were the guidelines which were used across the world. And then we organized a conference which brought all the stakeholders together. So what used to happen was milk bank were working as islands in India. Whatever 10, 15 milk banks were
So
there.
it was scattered.
Yeah, they were scattered and they were not talking to each other. So we got all the stakeholders together. We got the doctors together. We got the people working in the milk banks, the technicians together. We got the lactation counselors together. And then we also involved the public together. So the first international conference which was held on milk banking was held at DY Patil. And we were pioneers in, initiating the whole process. And we were blessed to have the then health minister, Mr. JP Nadda, come and grace the occasion. And then from there, things started rolling. People started talking to each other. Then eventually, the guidelines for India for human milk banking. Now it's not known as human milk banking, it's known as a comprehensive lactation management center. So that includes nutrition of the mother, lactation counseling, milk banking, and basically taking care of the infant and its milk needs, basically. So that is what the lactation management center means. So we were one of the factors instrumental in bringing about, rather I would say, starting this milk banking revolution way back in 2015. And the efforts which we took then are bearing fruits now. So now the government policies which were started in 2015, the guidelines were out in 2017, and the government taking initiative to bring milk banking to the ground level, that is to the last mile, to the each district in India, is now starting, is now coming to fruition, and now we are getting,
the lowest traffic.
yeah. So now there are tenders being set up in government hospital, whereby milk banks are being set up in the remotest area. Recently, we set up a milk bank in Dibrugarh, which is like the easternmost part of India, and I'm so happy to do it. And there is so much need to set up such kind of technologies, such kind of initiatives in those areas. The next, which is on our plan, is AIMS, Delhi, and we were very very happy. One of our my personal milestones for my company was setting a milk bank in the first setting up a installation in the first milk bank in Asia, which is at Jain Hospital. Okay, so that has been the journey so far.
Such an inspiring story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been quite a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But
Full of roundabouts and all.
yeah, yeah.
And ma'am, being an entrepreneur, like being a woman, and that also 10, 15 years back, how difficult was it for you to get into this field of business or being an entrepreneur? Was it always in your mind, or did you had some initial days of working with somebody else and then getting into this field of entrepreneurship and starting your venture of your own?
I come from a business family.
Okay, so it's in your
Basically,
blood only.
you could say that. No one in my family has worked in a job. So doing a job was never the plan. But you get married and then you start new things and then you need some stability. So I did the typical, job thing for a while, and then we both of us, me and my husband, realized that we were not cut out for this kind of a routine 9 to 5 job.
Yeah.
So we started our own venture, started small, started doing different things, dabbled in medical writing, dabbled in event management, dabbled in marketing, concept marketing, dabbled in product launching. We did many things. And eventually, I think it was fate that we were, destined to work in this milk banking field. So that is now what we are doing.
Ma'am, but what were the initial challenges as a woman entrepreneur that you faced in the initial days or throughout your journey of establishing what the system is today?
I have been lucky, Sakshi. I have been so lucky. I have had supportive parents. I have had a supportive husband, and I have had supportive in-laws. The major part of being a woman and having a family and
Yeah.
doing a business is the guilt. So guilt of not
Was
being
it
able
struggle of not able to balance everything?
yeah, the guilt of not being able to keep your household in a particular fashion, look after your kid, be there to pick her up from school, drop her off, like the other moms do.
Yeah.
But then you have to make your child also realize that your mom's working and this is how it's going to be. So eventually the kid also learns that "No, my mom works and this is how it is." So I think my kid is stronger for that. um, and she understands that her mom also works and it's going to be a bit, a bit of a balancing act, and then she's okay with it. So things do get better eventually. It's never You never get rid of the guilt of not being able to be there for everyone, be going to each family function, being the perfect housemaker. But then I think this is a much more satisfying thing for me.
It's also about the priorities and the choices that you make.
It's not about the priorities, about the choice that you make.
Yeah.
This was a choice I made of being, of wanting to work
Hmm.
and wanting to basically not work in a job, but work as an entrepreneur. Because then I don't have fixed timings. Even now, my daughter's in the 10th standard and I have to leave her and go. It's really bad. I feel really guilty, but then
Yeah, that love inside.
yeah, but then it's a requirement of my job. And if I had a man does not have to think twice about it, so why should I? And I have been blessed to say that I have a lot of support from home, from the home front, and yeah, so things have been comparatively easy.
Ma'am, but being an entrepreneur, did you face any sort of discrimination, not within your own family or by your in-laws and by your parents, but around the society when you used to talk with your investors or your stakeholders or anybody around your area of business? So, did you face any discrimination or any kind of pulling factor?
If you have the knowledge and the technical know-how and the confidence to speak properly and correctly
And put
I
your point up.
put your point out correctly, I don't think you face any discrimination.
Okay.
You are taken for your knowledge value, and I don't think you face any discrimination because I work in a field where there are many females who are working as doctors, as nurses, as technicians. So all of them are working. They are not getting discriminated. I have not seen anyone getting discriminated, at least in my experience. In my experience, and I have also not faced this kind of discrimination ever.
Okay.
Maybe I have been privileged
Fortunate.
and lucky.
Yeah.
It might not be the same case in all the fields. I understand that in corporate people do get
And being
discriminated.
being a society where means that being a male-dominated society where people tend to have this mindset ki if a man says something, the woman has to follow it. But just like you mentioned that you were fortunate enough to not being a part of this and flip way around, you were lucky enough to start everything of your own.
Mhm.
It's actually a thing which is not, not everybody's blessed with it.
I know.
Yeah.
I agree.
So like people do have, I mean, especially women, they do have stereotypes. I mean, they are onto the stereotypes, under the stereotypes and under this pressure. So how do you think girls or women who want to start something of their own should break the stereotypes and get into whatever they want to do? Is it just about the confidence or
You have to work hard. You have to keep doing the effort. You have to keep going at it. See, there are challenges. Challenges are there everywhere. And I don't expect to be given preferential treatment just because I'm a female.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that kind of feminism.
Correct.
My kind of feminism is I need equal opportunity. I do not need special treatment. I know I am qualified. I know I can do things as well as a man can. I don't think I need to be discriminated based on my gender. And that kind of a thing, I don't think should happen. So if I get equal opportunity, I know I have the goods to deliver. I have the confidence to deliver, and I know I can do things to the best of my ability. So I think that is more important.
Well, actually, you seem to be very confident, like standing at this level. Of course, it's the dedication and the experience you have had within this span of time. But how would you inspire other girls who are looking up to start their own profession or start their own entrepreneurship journey? So, what is that one seed or what is that one kick factor that they should consider, and how they can bloom in various aspects of whatever the Indian society is as an entrepreneur, as a businesswoman?
See, the journey of an entrepreneur today is so much easier than it was a few years back.
Yeah, agreed.
So you just have to keep doing your work diligently. You have to keep doing your work sincerely. If you work, you will get your results.
Yeah.
That is for sure. Because today the environment is conducive, the people are conducive. No one is going to say, Ki, Baba, you are a female, you should not do this. ऐसा नहीं है. I have seen people who are working in and doing well, females who are working and doing well in almost all parts of the industry. May it be medical professions, may it be engineering, may it be software, may it be corporate, may it be law, it may be any genre.
Yeah.
Women are doing well for themselves. You just have to keep doing the work.
Correct.
That is important. That is what I think is the most important.
So, ma'am, in this journey of your business or your entrepreneurship, there you would have faced some, pulling factors or like decisions. You would have made some decisions which you found which were not apt or you would have regretted. So, how did you come across? I mean, come through all these bad decisions of your life. I mean, in your business specifically.
If you make a mistake, you sit down, you analyze it, and then you never repeat it. That is something, if you follow, I think should be enough. You don't need to, it's not rocket science. The more simpler business ethics you have, the better business you can do. So integrity, innovation, and I think hard work are three things which you require to run a business successfully. If you have those in place, and people skills.
Yeah.
So you need, very important. You need these four pillars basically.
Yeah.
You need to take care of those, and I think you should be set.
You also mentioned that you switched up multiple professions at the onset of your career. So, when starting Metal Innovation, did you have any point of giving up, or did you find any point where you said, "Ki, this is enough. I cannot," of quitting or something like that?
Yeah, we did have, rather, I did have. My husband doesn't, he's the eternal optimist. So, and because we are a team, so there were many, many instances where, see, we got married very early, got married when we were 24, and we had a kid when we were 25. So things happened early for us. And then it is difficult to, balance personal life, family life, and professional life. And on top of it, we were people who were not happy doing our 9 to 5 jobs.
Yeah.
So income was a big, factor for us, the steady income thing. So, and then you have your friends who are, buying houses, getting cars, moving abroad. And somewhere I got the feeling that, we are just stuck somewhere. And then my husband was like, "No, no worries. Things will happen. It'll be slow, but things will grow." And they have. It's taken time. It's taken patience. But things are better now. Things are getting better. We are moving at I believe, a turtle pace, but going steady, slowly, and doing quality work. We are now known for our quality, that we do quality work, and people come to us, and when they want, good installations, good technology, they come to us, they talk to us, and then we work with people who want to do quality work. So I think then it makes for a better partnership with people. I think
But what was your that eureka moment, which which helped you ice break the entire process and you got into this thing?
I think the conference which we held in 2015, which we were, you know, which was graced by the then health minister,
Yeah.
Shri JP Nadda ji, and that I think was one event which changed our perspectives, and after that uh, is rather it we were how do I put it? That led us to be established as people who know about milk banking,
Yeah.
who understand milk banking, and who want to work towards the betterment of milk banking. There is one thing which me and my husband, both of us, always discuss is that see, this is not a field where we work for money. It's not a money-oriented
Yeah, of
field.
course.
Milk banking is a very emotional connection for both of us. I had gestational diabetes when I was pregnant, and I had trouble feeding my daughter in the first few days. So I know the pain of not being able to feed your child in the initial phases of life. So whenever we are setting up milk banks, whenever we are doing an installation, whenever we are giving training, I can connect with those people emotionally, and I can actually that helps me to talk to them. That helps me to teach them better, and that helps me
And
to.
probably that's the motivation that has helped you get
Yes,
now.
yes, it has. So it's always been more than just a job, just a business for us. We do not do things just for money. Obviously, obviously, money is a big factor.
Yeah.
Not that it's not, otherwise things won't move.
Because you need that money.
Yeah. But we always go beyond. We do not look at the money part of it. We think people are more important. Connecting to people, helping the people in need, that is more important. See, in India, the kind of infrastructure available for government hospitals is not always optimum. It's getting better, much better than what it was 10 years ago. But still, the processes are tedious. So there are times when we have to go beyond what we have promised or what we have been paid for. But we do it because that is the need of the system. That is the need of the milk bank which we are setting up. So we don't look at, it's never 1 + 1 = 2 for us. It's always more.
Yeah, the synergy.
Yeah, it's always more. And we do give more because that's the only way things are going to grow and things are going to be sustainable.
Correct.
So if they are sustainable, they will last. And then that is the only way they will benefit the infants. So that is more important for us.
Yeah. So, ma'am, you said ki you had a mentor when you started this human milk thing, but also in your life, do you have some mentor or a person who guides you to take your decisions, maybe personal decisions or professional decisions, or a person you look up to?
I think there are three people basically. One would be my husband, my partner, Mukul. So he's my, eternal source of inspiration. He's positive. He encourages me a lot, optimistic, and he has this way with people. So that is something I aspire to be able to do. Talk to people the way he talks to people. Then come my parents and my in-laws. I think the kind of support and growth I have uh, been able to do is because of the foundation I got from my parents and the support I got from my in-laws. I mean,
It's the upbringing of yours that
yeah,
has helped you get through.
yeah, it has. And if you talk about a role model, I think Kiran Bedi.
Yeah.
She's amazing, amazing. Her journey has been phenomenal.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I mean, to break those glass ceilings, being a IPS officer, her journey, the entire journey, it's been stupendous. That she inspires.
So, what do you think, ma'am, that important ingredient that empowers women or um, that incites a woman to grow into whatever the person she would be aspiring to become years down the line? Is it just the confidence that you mentioned back, or is it also the vision that should be incited? Just like you said, you had that correct upbringing. Is it all about the upbringing that the parents give, or also the societal upbringing she's into?
I think it's more about what you want to do with your life. Um, Upbringing obviously plays an important part. I will not say it's not important, but you can train yourself.
Yeah.
If you've not had the proper upbringing, you can train yourself. But it is where you see yourself in 20 years, or maybe at the end of your life. This is my goal. I want to achieve this before, I put down my shoes. So that dream, that goal, I think you have to set for yourself, and you have to work towards it. Because no one else is going to come and work towards your goal. It's going to be your goal, and you have to take efforts to, go towards it.
Yeah. So, being a businesswoman, ma'am, you would have had a team where you would have people, and many women would be a part of it. So, have you come across any situation where typically a woman has been, you know, pulled back, or who has been compelled to leave a job, or some situation where you found woman is not given the equal right, just like a man
There are
in your
many
ecosystem, especially?
There are many such cases, but we do not uh, have that kind of a culture in our organization. We always encourage everyone. Since we work in such a sensitive field, we work with many women in multiple verticals. So we work with doctors, we work with lactation consultants, we work with nurses, we work with graphic designers, we work with yeah. So there are so many women that we work with. Even I think in a way, our the mothers who come to the milk bank to donate, they are also women that we work with, though not directly but indirectly. So
I'm sorry to interrupt, but what is the motivation for them to come and donate the milk so that the underprivileged people get it?
see, when mothers donate milk, it's basically because of two, three reasons. One is they donate milk for their own child who is admitted to the NICU, who needs milk. So that is one. Once their child is fed, whatever is remaining, that is donated. So otherwise, the other reason being, when the child is in the NICU, it usually does not consume that much amount of milk. So because it is on IV fluids, on supplements, and IV fluids basically. So the uh, if the mother does not express milk, then the milk which he gets, the amount of milk which he gets, it starts to reduce. So then what will happen when the child is discharged from the NICU? There will be a gap between the child's hunger and the amount of milk. Yeah, that the supply and demand will not match. So if she donates milk, then her supply is kept up, and whatever her child will consume. Rest can be donated. So when her child is discharged from the NICU, the child will have enough milk so that the demand and supply are met.
Okay, so that is balanced.
Yes. Okay. So that is one reason. The other being she has excess milk even after feeding her child. If the mother has excess milk, then there are at times it's painful. There are certain conditions which develop, which can be painful for the mother. So then if she doesn't express milk, or if the baby is not feeding properly, there might be breast engorgement. There might be some other infections which can set in. So it's always better to empty the breast so that the milk production can remain smooth.
Okay.
So there are many reasons that a mother does donate. Some donate out of goodwill of their heart. So we have a milk bank in Jodhpur. It's a very interesting milk bank. It's one of the most fulfilling projects that we've done. So it's a orphanage in Jodhpur, and people just come and leave their babies there, and they just go off. So we had the person who's in charge there. He called us up, and then he was like, if the babies in the NICU are getting mother's milk, use with your milk bank, why should the babies in our orphanage not get mother's milk? So we were also surprised that it's a very odd reaction to odd thought process to think of those babies as the most important things, and
We're not getting that.
yeah, we're not getting this most important resource, that's mother's milk. So they have set up a milk bank in their orphanage, and mothers come there and donate, so that they believe that by donating milk to these babies, uh, their child will get better benefit out of the milk that the child is consuming. So uh, this is a very, odd kind of a situation, but a very fulfilling kind of a situation when you see the dedication that goes into people who are running these milk banks. It's amazing. The people are really amazing. The kind of people we've worked with. Hats off to
And
them.
how is this awareness spread ki women can come here and do this?
There are camps which are taken through social media, through counselings. So, if a mother comes to a lactation counselor or her gynecologist or her pediatrician, then she can get information about, talking to the doctors, talking to the consultants there about donating milk, about milk banks. There are also camps which are held regularly by many society, many NGOs, many people who are doing charity, like Rotaries, like Lion clubs. Yeah, yeah. So they help hold camps whereby awareness is increased about breast milk donation and breast milk feeding, breastfeeding, and human milk banking. So these kind of things do happen. So that is how awareness is increased.
And ma'am, you have been surrounded by so many women, like also the mothers who donate milk and all. So, do you have such any particular incident of yours, which has striked in your mind, wherein you would have seen that particular woman empowering herself and also her family or the society, like any incident where you would have found that that particular woman has empowered herself also. Any story of any women that you would have come across?
Uh, See, the field I work in, you will not get grand stories.
But the basic
but
stories also.
you will get heart-touching stories. So there was this mother who had lost her child, and when you lose a child, the child dies, and you cannot immediately conceive. But there has to be a gap of a few months before you have to try again. So her doctor had advised that you should not try for at least a year. But as she had delivered a baby, her body was producing milk. So she wanted to do something in memory of her child. So she donated breast milk for an entire year. There used to be bottles labeled with the child's name. There's this child's XYZ child's milk getting donated to this milk bank. So that those bottles used to come for 6, 7 months. The bottles used to come regularly till she was, getting milk, and then she eventually stopped getting milk, and then she stopped donating. But this is just one of the stories which I have heard, and uh, just by donating that milk, she was giving something to the child she lost, and also giving life to so many other children who were in desperate need for that milk. So these kind of heart touching stories you get to hear when you are working in my field. So it's a quite fulfilling, kind of
And that
field.
even boosts up your motivation
Yeah,
to continue doing what
it
you
does.
do.
It does.
And especially women, ma'am, like they are a bit emotional, just like I could see from your face also. You almost
It is,
teared
yeah, because these kind of stories you don't get to listen to in
from other businesses.
other businesses, yeah, and somehow it is fulfilling to me. It makes me be happy about the work I'm doing. I'm not moving mountains. I'm not making millions, but
But you're
I'm making an
the change.
impact.
Yeah.
I'm making an impact. I'm doing something which will help sustain or which will help in the growth of my nation.
Do you have any, a piece of advice for women entrepreneurs or girl entrepreneurs, especially, that they should be diving into themselves so that they create a business or they stand at a position where you yourself are years down the line? In the initial days, like before starting any business.
See, doing a business is not easy.
Agree.
You don't get a fixed payout, and it's not as glamorous as they say show in all these social media handles ki aaj business shuru kar diya, kal 10 lakh mil gaye, khatam baat. This is not how things work. It is a slow and steady journey. It takes a lot of patience, and it takes a lot of hard work and determination.
lot of perseverance.
Yes, you have to believe in what you're saying, and you have to find ways to make people believe in what you're saying. So it's going to be a tough journey. It's not going to be, roses and flowers and that. It will be eventually when your hard work does pay off, but you have to be patient and you have to keep the work, keep at the work. You have to keep working hard and you have to keep giving your full, and you have to um, not care about missing out on stuff.
Mhm.
So,
And especially people today, they have this FOMO of everything, like
yeah,
fear of missing
yeah,
out.
yeah. You know, it's like a plan. Okay, I'm gonna get married at 28, have a
Mhm.
car at 29, have a house at 30,
But
have kids at 31. Life doesn't work that way. You have to be flexible. You have to stick to what you're doing, and you have to compromise on not your dreams, but on everything else.
Mhm.
So that is something you need to be ready to do.
So here comes the thing of prioritizing. You should be able to
Yeah.
prioritize what you want.
Yeah, you have to be able to prioritize what you want in life, and you have to be fixed on it, no matter what anyone says.
Also, ma'am, in your daily routine, also there would be instances where you would be not able to balance your personal life and your professional life. Just like you mentioned, yeah, just like you
Many.
mentioned about your daughter.
There are many.
Yeah. So how do you cope up with it? And especially being a daughter, a daughter-in-law, a mother, and a wife, how do you cope up with all these challenges? And how difficult it is for you to convince yourself that it's okay.
One at a time.
Okay.
One thing at a time.
But
I
there
have
may
to.
be instances when multiple things come around. So
Yeah, but then you have to have a support system. You have to have a village. You have to
Your own
build your own
ecosystem.
village. Yeah, your own ecosystem, your own support system. So if I have something which is inevitable, I have to do it. It's compulsory for me to do it, and my presence is inevitable. So I have my mother to fall back on to take care of my child. I have my sister. I have my mother-in-law who comes in. If both my mother
you're
and
empowering women in your own family.
yeah, they are empowering me. It's the other way around. It is because they are standing so firmly behind me that I can do what I am doing and be successful by doing it. And I hope by doing this, I am teaching my child to follow her own dreams.
Mm.
So, this is what is important. You should be able to follow your own dreams and have the freedom to do it.
Correct.
That is most important.
Also, ma'am, you seem to be so energized. Like, what is the secret behind your this energy? Always cheerful. Like, few minutes of this conversation, I'm very much evident. Ki you're so energized. You're so cheerful. So, what's the secret behind this?
I'm happy doing what I am doing.
How do you get that satisfaction? Because the major problem amongst the people, especially the youth, even me, I have this problem that I'm not satisfied by what I
Think too much. You guys think too much. That's the problem with
But
your
how do you
generation.
solve the things out?
You want too much. My goal is simple. See, I started when I actually went to an NIC for the first time and I saw a 500-gram baby which fit, in the palm of my hand, and the feeling that I am able to help this small child,
You can go
yeah, and this small child grow up and live a healthy life, no matter what he does, but that child will live a healthy life. So that feeling, I think, makes my contributes a lot to my energy, and that is what helps me do what I am doing for so many years. Yeah.
Okay. But that one thing that pops up to your mind every morning to start your day with, or the one thing that you keep in your mind before ending your day, that one seed of motivation for the day around.
I it's just that I want to be better than what I was yesterday. That
Just
that
like,
yeah, that
but you should also be able to, be able to write it down. I mean, you should be able to contemplate what you actually want in your life. So how do you get this clarity of what you actually want in your life? And this is very personal question, ma'am, because I am so confused. I'm telling you, I'll be confused for every single thing that I do in my life.
see. If you asked me this question 15 years ago, I would have been in the same state of mind. But then there was one thing which I knew for sure, that I'm not going to compromise on my dreams, and I'm not going to do something which I do not like. I tried doing the 9 to 5 job. I was working as a lecturer somewhere. I was working in purchase at a hospital somewhere, but it never gave me satisfaction. It was mundane. It never gave me. It did not excite me. Now today, if I'm doing my job, if I get an inquiry, now we are setting up 3 milk banks in Assam. It's exciting to be able to go to the other end of the country and just see these new people, meet these new people, work with them, work towards them, their healthcare benefits, and towards the healthcare of these small infants, to be able to contribute in some small way to you know basically giving them a healthier life. I think that is a big motivation. And this is something, this excitement is something which makes me happy.
Like people say passion and profession are two different things, but if you follow your passion through your profession, it can definitely lead to what you are today.
Yeah.
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 And also you said you have been working, you shifted amongst a lot of things. So probably that also helped you to grow what your business is today, and understand and learn all the processes and establish the system of your business, whatever it is standing today at.
Yeah. So basically, entrepreneurship, I think, is a journey. You have to start somewhere so that you will, get better at things, keep on
Throughout your
yeah, throughout your journey. Experience teaches you. So it's taught me how to deal with people, it's taught me how to complete projects, it's taught me how to follow my dreams, talk to people, get everything set up in time, with the best quality input. So these are things I have learned along my journey, and I think they make me a better person. So I think that is more important. Being a better person, it obviously automatically makes me a better entrepreneur. So,
Also, you mentioned about time thing, and nowadays, I mean, especially the youth and we people, we face a lot of, this conflict of time management. So how do you deal with managing your time and being and being be and performing these various aspects of your life, these various roles in your life? How do you manage time, and how do you lubricate your process of your schedule?
see, if you really, really, really want to do it, a particular thing, you want to pursue your dream, you find time for it. It automatically happens. You don't have to take extra efforts. If I know that I have a meeting at 11, I make sure that I get up at 5:30 and finish my the core chores at my house, take care of my child, do everything else, get myself ready and reach the office at or come here at 10:30. Today I was late. But still, uh, you have to be clear of what you want to do and align your schedules accordingly. Things happen. You just have to be motivated and "Okay, मला हे करायचं, I want to do this." That is most important.
And how do you get that motivation in times where you are completely demotivated or completely lost? How do you get that boost up?
नई दिन नई कहानी.
But how do you deal with yourself in that particular moment? Like you would have faced times when
Sleep on it. Things are always better when you have a good night's sleep. So it's always better. There have been so many problems, but if you believe in what you're doing, things do work out. It might not be the scene that you want, but it will always be for the better, and you will always benefit eventually. So things do work out. I think you guys think about things too much. You want too much too quickly.
Yeah.
So I think if you just focus on one thing at a time and complete it, automatically when you complete a set of things, you will have many things done. So I think that is more important. You need to do what you're doing properly, and only then your collection will be, a better one, because you will have every single piece done properly.
You have that complete plateau.
Have a bouquet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to be patient.
And this particular age, man, like 20, 23, 24, 25, you have this multiple things going around your head.
Yeah.
And especially the family pressure, especially to the girls that you're supposed to get married by this particular age. So how did you cope up? Because even you said you got married earlier.
Yeah.
A bit earlier.
Yeah. You know what?
But at that time, how did you thought of how did you got this inspirational seed that you would be able to do everything like you would have decided in your
I
life?
did not think too much. I just did. You guys think too much. If I'm a very wrong person to ask this question to, but I believe you should get married early. Seriously, I got married early. I had my kid early. Now at 40, I'm done with things. My kid is grown up. I have time in my hands to do things the way I want to do what I want to do. So I think if you get married late and have kids later, you are compromising on the time which you will get later. So this is the time when I know I can catapult, I can grow faster because I have lesser responsibilities at home. So again, it's a personal choice, but so many people for our parents, they're not idiots. They've seen the world of, in a better fashion than we have. They understand things much better. So I think थोड़ा सुनना चाहिए उनका.
Agreed. So, before we wrap up this session, a piece of advice that you would throw to the entrepreneurs, especially the women entrepreneurs or the girls that are aspiring to become a lady or grow into a lady like you, what you are today.
Uh, be confident in what you do. Never lose hope and never lose sight of what your goal is. And don't expect special treatment. You fight, fight the fight at an equal level. Don't expect for favors. Do things up properly from the ground up, and I think you will succeed. I think that is more important. And always, always, always work hard. You need to work really hard. You can't give excuses. Kia, I'm tired and I can't do it. It's too difficult. Nothing is too difficult. Nothing is too difficult. Everything can be done. And we have multiple examples here in India that things are possible. And even if you're a girl or a lady, it's possible to, achieve your best potential if you just keep working hard. So work hard. That's it.
So, thank you so much, ma'am, for
Thank you.
again. I thank you for accepting our invite and being a part of this podcast. And all your insights and all your lessons that you have shared would be a brainstorming part, just not for the women, not just for the podcast members, but for everybody who would be watching this video.
Thank you so
And
much.
it's our delight that we are having you today. So thank you so much, ma'am, for being a part of this thing.
Thank you so much, Sakshi. Thank you so much for having me here.
Yes,
Thank you.
So special thanks to the Budding Entrepreneurs Forum, the Buzzcast team, and all the volunteers, and Shambhuraje for inviting Vrushali Deshpande Ma'am. Thank you.